Hello, and welcome to this episode of the Growing Up is Overrated podcast. My name is T, and I'm here with my friend and co host, Jen. This week, we'll be discussing how we celebrate the holidays as we get older. How do you keep the magic of the season going when you lose those rose tinted glasses from childhood? We know not everyone celebrates Christmas, but we hope everyone can take what we have to say and apply it to other holidays and family traditions as well. Now, into the podcast. Hello, Jen. It's officially December. Do you know what that means?
Bath and Body Works Christmas candles. Searching for a tree and being overwhelmed in stores.
I mean, yes, but also like family stuff. you
Oh
know?
yeah, I guess they're kind of important too, but
I mean, I don't know how much family time I'm going to have this year. But that's being an adult around the holidays.
yes, organizing, being part of a family unit, making sure that everybody participates, whether you force them or or you ask.
Yeah. Yeah, trying to man, getting everybody on the same page is like what is happening? Why don't you all have all of this time off? Let's just all take off 2 weeks. It's great. Let's just do that.
Yes. Yeah, let's go back to when we were kids and it felt like everything was so easy.
Yeah, if only it was that simple.
But yeah, so what speaking of childhood Christmases, what are some of your favorite things about Christmas when you're a kid? Because as we all know, Christmas changes a lot when you get older. There's just more difficulties and things that change, but there's something so magical about it when you look back on your own childhood Christmases.
Yeah. Well, for me, I guess, I was just, I mean, I'm the baby of my family and the only girl. So every year I would make my grandma would make me a Christmas dress and I would get to help her design it and we would, change that and stuff. So I was always looking forward to my fashion show on Christmas Day. Um and I also obviously loved presents and Santa. And, just being with my family, making cookies and gingerbread houses. What
Ooh.
yeah. What about you?
Oh, well, I actually have something kind of funny. My dad kind of did proto Elf on the Shelf before it was a thing, 'cause, we're obviously I'm 22 years old, soon to be 23, and Elf on the Shelf was not a thing when I was a kid, but we did have this stuffed reindeer, that was not Rudolph, 'cause he had a green nose, this reindeer, for
Is that
reasons that
is
I
is
I
that
don't
Olive
understand.
the other reindeer? We found him. Olive!
Yes. But yeah, so it has a green nose and bells on his ears, antlers, and my dad would hide him all over the house, like, every day, and I would have to go and hunt
Aw.
and find where the reindeer was, and we called that the reindeer games. So that was fun. We still have
Oh
the
my
reindeer,
gosh.
but we don't hide
That's
him
so
anymore.
cute.
It
Oh.
it was really nice, and I enjoy it, and I miss it. Um, Another childhood memory that I really, really treasure is for ornaments, everybody kinda has their own ornaments that they put on the tree, but in my family, we would get gifted ornaments every year. So I'd get one from my parents and one from my cousin's parents and my cousin. It was kind of like a family gift. And so these were my ornaments. We write my name on them and the year that we got them. So now I'm 22 years old and I've collected about 40 plus ornaments that are now mine. And I will
Aw.
take them with me when I eventually move out and
That's
put
so
them on my own
special.
tree. It's so nice and it's something that
Aw.
I really recommend to other people too. It's a nice just tradition of collecting things that mean something. Because now I remember my ornaments and I love them all.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, like, we had our, our special ornaments and stuff, but I was, like, through and through, like, Santa fangirl, like, I think it's, like, more so than, like, your typical girl, like, I was or, like, kid, like, I was definitely somebody who was like, "Santa, I'm your girl, you know I'm always good, like, you know I'll tell you if someone's not good, um, and, you know, T got you, you know, like,
And reward
and
me.
reward me, please," and, like, I always thought it was funny when my brothers would get coal or, like, they would get, like, that coal bubble gum, I don't know if you've ever seen that. It, like, turned your
No,
mouth black. Like, it has
I've never heard of this.
so much food dye, like, it's just, like, a little pouch of, like, pebble bubble gum. Um, yeah, no, it's really funny, so I would always, like, laugh at that, but, I mean, we had our special ornaments and stuff, but what I really had that was really special to me for Christmas was, from 1st grade. So, we had just gotten done reading The Polar Express, um, and this was before the movie came out. So, like, this concept was just, like, really, really special. Like, like, we were just very excited for Santa to come, and we were, like, just about this, And
Mhm,
so our custodian knocks on our door, like, that goes outside, and it's the first snow, it's, like, end of November, like, early December, and, he knocks on the door, and he has his box, and he's brushing the snow off of it, and he's like, "Hey, guys, like, this box I found in the snow, and it says it's from Santa to your class," and we were like, "Oh, like, what? Like, why our class? Like, what okay, like, what
mhm.
did we do?" And he opens it up and he says, "Yeah, it's filled with jingle bells." And it was just like these cute little jingle bells with, like, a little ribbon on them. And so I would, like, ring it and be like, "I believe, do you believe?" You know? And, like, and so I would do that to my brothers, and I'd be like, "T, it doesn't mean anything, it's just a jingle bell." And I'm like, "But, yes, it does, you're just lying, like, you just wanna seem like you're cool, like, you believe in Santa, you can hear this bell. Even mom and dad believe in Santa, like, you're dumb." Like, and so, like, I
Oh my
was just
god.
like I was adamant that Santa was real, and I held on to that even though, like, in 6th grade, like, I knew he wasn't real, but I didn't want to believe that he wasn't real. So,
I
I was just, like,
relate.
held on to that.
I relate so hard. I was also a Santa stan, and I didn't give up on that for a very long time. Even though, like, in the deep down part of you knows, but you don't wanna give in to that feeling. You're like, "I wanna keep
Yeah.
believing. I don't wanna give up." I My parents also gave me a bell once for Christmas because I put it on my Christmas list. I asked Santa for a bell off of his sleigh.
Aw.
Because, I was a Polar Express nerd because it's my favorite movie, so it was like, I want it. But yeah, it's like, the whole story and myth around Santa Claus is really interesting, and one of the parts of Christmas that interests me more and more as I get older, because we have this cultural belief that everybody kind of feeds into with children, that Santa Claus is a real person and he gets you gifts and comes down your chimney and somehow makes it to all the houses in the world in one night. And everybody feeds into this idea. And it's kind of sacrilege to say in front of a kid that Santa isn't real. And it's almost like Santa is almost a religious figure among children. Like, and Christmas movies reinforce this, with the Polar Express being like, "You gotta believe," "Do you hear the bell? Are you a true believer?" And then, like, the Santa Claus, like, "Seeing isn't believing, believing is seeing." All these, like, messages that have a very religious undertone when you give it more than 2 seconds of thought.
Yeah, that's so I've never I mean, maybe I have thought about this, but, like, I don't know. Maybe I didn't, like, really, really form it into as deep of a connection, but I totally am on board with that. Like, growing up in a more, like, a pretty religious family, I knew a lot of parents who were like, I don't know if I wanna, like, teach my kid," about Santa because they'll be confused about him with, like our religious figure. Um, and I don't know how to feel about that, but like, I don't know, like a lot of things in like adulthood or like childhood are foreshadowing for the future. I don't know if you know what I mean like that, but like, like finding out something isn't real kind of like Santa when you're a kid, um, is a lot like, kind of when you have the wool taken from your eyes, like when you're a little bit older and you realize like your parents don't have everything together or like, some of like those um like other
Yeah, or like
realizations that you come to as an adult.
yeah, or like you realize that society isn't perfect and there are things that can be improved on even though you had this idea that everything was perfect and then all of a sudden you realize it isn't. And that's connected with your realization about Santa Claus and also other childhood figures like the Easter Bunny and the Tooth
Yeah.
Fairy and all that kind of stuff. It's a real growing moment, which I think is just interesting because our society feeds into that lie for kids only to because everybody has to stop believing at some point, you know? So we set them up to be disappointed, and I just find that interesting.
Yeah, it is pretty odd that it's like while people like everybody kind of buys into it, right? Like it's um like we know it's there, but we don't talk about it, right? But like I don't know, it's almost like Fight Club. Is this Santa Fight Club? I think it is.
Yes, yes, it absolutely is Santa Fight Club.
I know I'm going to like ponder later about what the meaning of Santa Fight Club is.
Yes, that is absolutely what we should be doing. But, like, other things you realize about Christmas as an adult, like, how much Christmas, like, the cultural celebration of Christmas, not necessarily the religious holiday, is a celebration of capitalism and money
Oh my
and
gosh.
excess. Like,
Yeah.
it is about showing off how much you can afford to buy and give to others, which is the real ugly side of Christmas that I don't like.
There are so many layers to this. Like, just like okay, so externally, right? We decorate our houses. Who can afford the electricity bill as well as, the actual decorations, which are really expensive? Has the time or can hire somebody to put them up, like, it's expensive, and so, like, being able to, like, deck your front, like, house out with, like, or even, like, your inside too, just, like, being able to absolutely deck everything out, like, deck the halls is, you know, a financial privilege, and it's showboating, essentially.
Mhm,
Like, I mean, it's beautiful and I love the lights, like, don't get me wrong, but, like, like, that is, like, in the real action Grinch,
mhm.
um, movie, there's, like, that scene where, like, Cindy Lou Who's parents are trying to, like, make their house look all nice, and, like, the neighbors across the street are just, like, absolutely blowing them out of the water.
Yeah, it's like there's so many parts about it, you know, like buying a tree. Like, my family buys a real tree every year, and it's expensive, like, to buy a
Yeah,
real tree,
it
and
is.
like, I didn't realize it when I was a kid, but now it's like we pay, like, so much money to buy a real tree every single year, and all the presents are so much money, and they're getting more and more expensive, you know, as people want more things that are electronic based and video games and whatever. It's not as simple as just buying a $20 toy, um, from Walmart to make somebody happy. People want more advanced things, and it makes me sad. And the consumer culture of Black Friday, oh my god. This year, Black Friday is gonna be different, but the normal Black Friday of everybody going to the stores on not just Black Friday, but Thanksgiving. Like,
Yeah,
oh my god, give people Thanksgiving off. It's not right to have people come to work on Thanksgiving.
I know. Yeah, when I was in college and working at the office store, um, I was, okay, I worked there for 2 years, and the first Black Friday, I wiggled out of it, because I think I was traveling. Oh, no, I had my boyfriend, visiting when we were long distance, so I, like, told them that I was gonna be out of town and there was physically no way for me to be there,
Nice.
even though I was here, but yeah, I wasn't gonna work when he was there, I only got to see him, like, once or twice a year, um, and then the next year, they actually had me work, I think I had to be there at, like, 7 or 8 o'clock, after Thanksgiving dinner to start, like, the thing, and people were lining up outside, like, there were, like, 5 people, like, it was, like, the lamest Black Friday sale you've ever seen, like, next to, like, having nobody there, but, like, people are, like, lining up to get their Sharpie packs, like, it's like, "Come on." Like, everyone's at Best Buy, shut up.
But yeah, like, having this whole, like Black Friday is the celebration of capitalism at its finest. It is the day that everybody's like, "Yes, let's go spend money," and it's a celebration of how much money we can spend. Let's go. It just it's so awful and I hate it.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, well, I mean, even within that, there's like, okay, so every year there's a hot toy, right? Like it's like
Mhm.
the it toy. And people will scalp for Black Friday sales to get them and then sell them at like really marked up on eBay. And so some parent who's trying really hard to, make sure that their kid is happy this Christmas, has to pay out the wazoo to get their kid's toy.
Mhm.
Like, that's so screwed up, you
It's
know?
terrible. Like, did you ever get the It toy when you were a kid? I got it a couple times.
You know, I don't remember ever getting the It toy. Maybe I got, like, a Tamagotchi or something, but I I can't remember, yeah, I don't know, I just can't remember.
Yeah, I got, like wanting the It toy is just an interesting experience from a child's perspective because you don't realize how much work goes into getting it. Like, I asked for the DS one year, and apparently that was a real pain in the butt to find, my parents have told me years later. And I also got the hamster. Do you remember these hamster toys that,
Zuzu
like
Pets?
Yeah, yeah, Zuzu Pets. They were really all the rage for one random year.
Yeah,
Um
they always come up when I search for hamster supplies on eBay or on, like, Craigslist.
Yeah, so
I'm
I
like,
got
"No."
those. I got those and they were the It toy, and I played with them for 5 minutes. That was not worth it. It was not worth the effort.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I think I would just, like, see things in the mall and be like, "That one, I want that toy." Like, there one year there was, like, a little robot dog, and you could, like, walk him with, like, a little remote, that was, like, his leash, and that wasn't, like, a big toy that everybody wanted, it was just something I thought was cute in the store. Um, but yeah, I don't know. Like, generally, we had a lot of homemade gifts, a lot of, just, like, little things, and art kits. I always got art kits because 'cause I'm the artsy kid.
But yeah, so, like, capitalism and buying toys are a big part of being an adult at Christmas is, like, is finding people things. But also it's, like, forced family togetherness, even if you don't wanna be around them, you know?
Yeah, there's always a few people, um, who you're like, "You know, I think I'd be okay if they don't show up." And, like, you feel bad about it, but, like, I don't know, this might I don't know if this is as true for you as it is for me, um, because, like, I have a larger family than you.
Yeah, my family is pretty tiny.
Yeah, like, both of my parents have, uh, like, families of 4 and 5. So, like, I have a decent amount of aunts and uncles, um, and, yeah, I don't know. There's a whole lot of stuff that, like, it can just bring up a lot of turmoil inside the family, and it's just like, I don't wanna deal with this." It's like a pressure pot, because like, people are, like, trying to get food ready and they're trying to get all, like, the things ready for the house and cleaning.
It's just a lot of stress.
Yeah, it is a lot of stress. It's just, like, I don't know, like, everyone's, like, trying to clean and, I don't know. I yeah.
Yeah, it's a
It's
lot
not
of
what you
work.
think of. It's not what you think of when you, like, watch a Christmas movie.
Yeah, you don't think of
And
all the effort that goes into Christmas, all of the
right.
cooking and the cleaning and the baking and the decorating. It's like it can be fun to do all those things. Like I actually kind of enjoy. I'm one of those weird people that enjoys bringing up Christmas lights from the basement and spending time plugging each one into the wall and like changing
Yeah.
bulbs. Like that's my
Yeah.
job and I enjoy that, but it's just a lot of stuff to do. And taking it down as well, which is way less fun than putting it up.
Yeah, no, taking it down is, like, way more annoying. Putting it away. See, like, taking it down is one thing, but, like, putting it actually away, like, I'll just have, like, boxes next to the basement door and be like, "They'll go down eventually."
Yeah, we end up doing that too. We have, our living room is on one side of the house and it's near the basement door, and that room kind of ends up being the Christmas dumping ground. It's where all the boxes go, and it just ends up being a giant mess for a month of the year.
Yeah.
Um, and then we eventually get it all back downstairs. Like, we kinda have a deadline, in my family because my birthday is in the middle of January, so we try to get everything down before then.
Yeah.
But some years that hasn't happened, and I've just had Christmas decorations up for my birthday, which I don't really mind.
Yeah, like, you're a total Christmas elf.
Yeah, I love Christmas anyway, so it doesn't really
Uh,
bother me. As I've
uh-huh.
gotten older, I do a lot more of the decoration part myself. Like, when I was a kid, my parents would bring up a lot of the stuff from the basement and help me put it up, but now since I'm the biggest Christmas fan in the house, I do a lot of the work. I get the boxes, I
Yeah,
decorate the tree, I put stuff up, and, like, I'm
yeah.
if I don't do it, it doesn't happen, and since I like
Yep.
it, I have to do it.
Yeah, that's me in my house too. Um, like, it's it's just so much work, I think, for my parents that they don't wanna bother with it. Um, and since I'm, like, the artsy one in the family, then they're like, "T will do it." And I'm like, yeah, I can do it." But, you know, it so sometimes it ends up being me doing the cleaning and preparing also before doing it, but, that's neither here nor there right now. Um, but yeah, I don't know. I don't mind putting it up, I really hate taking it down.
Yeah, and, like, as when I was a kid, I had my sister around and my grandparents were around. Like, my grandparents lived in New York City, so we would go visit them for the holiday, and, like, now there's my grandparents have both since passed away, and I miss them. I miss going to the apartment for Christmas.
Yeah.
It was a nice thing, and my sister has moved to a whole 'nother country, so I miss having
Mhm.
her around.
Mhm.
Just like, it was fun. Like, we're 5 years 4.5 years apart, so we've never been, like, the closest of close sisters, but, like, I do miss having her for the holidays. It feels like a presence is missing.
Yeah. Yeah, I definitely think that, like, Thanksgiving and Christmas are holidays where you want to have like, it's almost like the more the merrier, you know? Um, because like, I have 2 older brothers, um, and they're both now married. And even though I have a larger family, what ends up happening as you grow up is, like, a grandparent dies, and then, like, that ends up being you realize how much of a glue they were. Um, like, everybody just wanted to get together for the holidays so that we could all make sure that we were seeing them, you know? And then slowly your cousins start having kids and getting married, and my brothers got married, and they don't have any kids yet. Um, I I don't know. Then you just get sad because it's like, as it goes on, it's less like your childhood Christmas, and so, like, you kinda have to, like, recreate it for yourself, and that's hard. especially as, like, a single person, you know?
Yeah, it's hard to take what you remember the holidays being and transform that as you age. But, like, one way to do that is to carry on traditions that you used to do and things that you
Yeah,
still and make new traditions for yourself that you want to carry on and keep doing.
yeah. Yeah, I get stuck in this trap of, like, wishing that I did have nieces and nephews and being like, "I'll create traditions when I have nieces or nephews, and or both." Um, when there's kids in the family, like, you feel a little bit more like putting more effort because you want it to be magical for them, but, like,
Mhm.
you have to take that same idea of taking care of them, these kids who don't even exist yet, um, and putting that self-care into your own holiday experience.
Yeah, no one's gonna make your holiday special unless you make it special. You have to put in the effort. And
Yeah.
that is kind of hard to realize when you're an adult because you used to have people do the magic for you, but now you have to make
Mhm.
your own magic.
Yeah.
And, like, there are some things that are still magical for me as an adult that I still enjoy doing. Like, my family makes this recipe called nuts and bolts, which was my grandmother's recipe on my dad's side, which were not the same grandparents that lived in New York, but she made this recipe and we still make it every year. It's really delicious. It's like full of Chex cereal and nuts and salt. It's just
We
so
love
it takes
salt.
a love salt. It takes a long time to make, as in, like, 2.5 hours of consistent, flipping, but I will still make that. Like, even when I move out, I will make nuts and bolts, and I will remember it as a Christmas tradition.
Yeah. Yeah, my mom was a cake decorator like, when I was a kid, so baking is just, like, essential to my holiday experience, you know?
Mhm.
And what she loves to make every Christmas without fail is, caramel rolls, and so
Ooh.
we'll make them, from scratch, like, you make the dough, you spread butter on them
Oh
and
my
then
goodness, it's so
brown
much
sugar
work.
and cinnamon and stuff, but it's like, they're so good. And so, like, even one year my mom was in the hospital for Christmas, and I made it for the family, because I just knew that it was a hard year, and I was like, "You know what, like, let's get through this, and, like, these are going to be what makes it feel like Christmas," even though my mom wasn't at the, like, event at that time, um And so, yeah, like, I can definitely tell that, like, that's our, like, main family recipe that's always going to be a Christmas tradition, um, because they're just, so nostalgic.
And, of course, there's the very traditional Christmas traditions, like cutting down a tree in a tree farm.
Yeah, we've never done that. I've gone with a good childhood friend of mine to do that for like, with her family, but, we've just had, like, a fake tree our whole lives,
Yeah,
so
fake trees have their place. I got a fake tree this year for my room so I can have
yes,
a tree all the time.
yes,
Yes, it's
and you don't
very,
have to
very nice.
water it.
No, you do not have to water it. That was always my job as a
In
kid. I had
fact,
to crawl under the tree and water the tree.
please don't water your electric tree.
Oh god, no. That's a horrible idea. Don't do it.
Oh gosh. Yeah, I don't know. I think moving forward, like, there's there's things that I've always wanted to do, but again, part of, like, my baking Christmas tradition is, like, making a gingerbread house every year with my cousins.
Ooh.
Um, and we would go all out. We would do, like, Jolly Rancher, like, stained glass windows and, like, all sorts of
Oh
stuff
my
like that.
god.
It was,
That's
like
so cool.
yeah, it was really fun, since my mom was a cake decorator, she had all of the, like, fancy tips and stuff for icing. Um, and
See,
yeah,
that's
I don't
so
know.
fun.
Yeah, we tried to keep it up with my cousins, like, after I was in college and stuff, and some of them were. And, I tried to do a gingerbread house without a pattern.
Oh, no. I can sense this is going poorly.
And, I ended up not thinking about it very well, and so it turned into, I mean, it was delicious, but it turned into more of an Easter, Jesus's tomb instead, which my grandma thought was great. Uh,
I've
but
never
yeah.
made a gingerbread house from scratch. It isn't
Oh my
something that I have thought about
gosh.
doing forever, but I've never
Yeah.
done it because
No,
it's
yeah,
hard. Uh,
it yeah, it is, well, cause like, there's, like, a different recipe for, like, a house versus like, the gingerbread men cookies that you're going to eat.
Mhm.
Like, you have to make a harder cookie for the house, otherwise it's just gonna break.
Yeah. It's
Um
mostly, like, just the challenge of making it and then putting it together that terrifies me. Like, I've made
Mhm.
tough to make baked things. I'm
Yeah.
not really intimidated by a challenge. I made macaroons, which are
Macaroons or macarons?
mac dang it.
Macarons.
Yeah, the
Macaroons
ones
are
that are
coconut cookie that's
yeah,
American. Macarons
yeah,
are French, and I know I'm butchering the way of saying that, but they are different cookies.
yes, the French cookie.
I'm
I
not
made the
French.
French cookie.
Yes.
So, yeah, and those are notoriously difficult to make, so it's
Yes.
like,
Yeah,
challenge
I've made
doesn't
them
scare me
before.
in that way,
Uh-huh.
but making a gingerbread house seems really, really hard.
Mhm.
But yeah, the Christmas can be fun. You just have to make your own fun, and that's okay. And I'm learning that as I'm
Yeah.
getting older.
Yeah, also, like, creating your own family, like, sometimes you're in situations for the holidays where you can't see your family, and in those times, it's totally okay to, like, reach out to friends and see if they're open to, accepting you into their holiday traditions too.
Mhm.
Just be respectful about that, but I've had some really wonderful, like, Thanksgiving and Christmas times with friends, um, when my
Yeah,
family just, like, wasn't in a place where they could do anything.
yeah, especially with like if you don't want to see your family, if like family relations are tense and maybe there's some reason for some reason you can't go home or don't want to. Like there are you can be accepted by friends and you can make your own families. You're not wedded to the one that you were made the one that you were given.
Yeah, like, that saying that friends are the family we choose.
Mhm.
Um,
Exactly.
yeah.
So, I think that just about wraps up our episode here. So, why don't we transition into our silver lining segment? So, T, what is making you happy right now?
Well, I've started seeing people put up Christmas lights.
Ooh.
People like went ham for Halloween decor, and like soon after they were just like holiday lights now, and I was like, yes, leave them up all year. Winter's too dark. I need these lights.
You know, I've noticed the same thing. There have just been tons of people already have their lights up and done already. And I'm like, how are you so fast at this? I'm not even close.
Yeah,
But yeah,
yeah.
Christmas lights, man, are a real bright spot of the season. For me, what's making me happy right now is the two of us are actually in a Discord group with some friends of ours, and we've started a holiday movie night every
Woot
Friday
woot.
until Christmas.
Yes.
And that is making me very happy. We just had our first one a couple days ago, and it went really well. And so we will keep going. I think our next movie is Klaus, which I'm very excited to share.
Klaus. Yeah, I haven't seen that one yet, so I'm really excited about it.
Yeah, so we're watching Klaus, then we're doing Santa Claus and the Polar Express. We've got a whole like A plus lineup going on for our movie night, and I'm just very excited about it.
Yes.
So thank you so much for listening to this episode of the Growing Up is Overrated podcast. You can find new episodes every other Tuesday wherever you get your podcasts. Please subscribe and leave us a review. It really helps us out. We hope you'll continue to listen to us talk about our lives and hopefully learn something about yourself too. And remember, growing up is overrated.